And good morning, everybody. It's favorite time of your week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody. My name's Paul.
Good morning. This is Bev.
Oh, and we're only 23 minutes late. Oh my God, but we're on. Good old
We are
technology.
here.
Took 20 minutes for the darn computer to reboot itself and
Oh
get
my
everything going.
goodness.
But we're here, we're ready to go because we're going to talk about BioTouch for the family. so.
Yes.
Oh, all right. So let me start this here. I'm going to start the recording. All right. So it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. This is what is today, the 14th of August, and we're going to talk about BioTouch for the family. And what inspired us, right, was our dear certified practitioner teacher in Egypt. He did
Yes.
an amazing post, and we just froze up now. It's amazing what's happening here.
Very
So,
interesting.
yep, there we go. We're back on. It froze up. This is technical glitches. This is right along with the problems that we're having over there in the island of Maui with the Ohana group out there. There's another group of Ohana. We hope maybe somebody over there will see this and they'll want to practice it
Yeah.
just to do the greeting with everyone, just to help with the stress level, help the focus. If you need any help over there, we're here. Contact us at office@justtouch.com. There's obviously some glitches going on the planet, and we're part of it
Oh,
here. so,
you think?
yeah. So, what was I going to do? Oh, yeah. I was going to show you a photo of some families while we read what Hala wrote on her Facebook post. She goes, if you want to send a message of peace and love to your husband, make BioTouch a session. If you want to practically thank your wife for her tiredness with you and your children, make her a BioTouch session. If you want to offer a real help to your father or mother, relieve them of their old age and troubles, make them a BioTouch session. If you want to strengthen children's immunity and gift them psychologically and neurologically so that you can get along with each other, make them a BioTouch session. Learn to support each other with BioTouch. And you can see all these wonderful pictures of families and kids working with one another. There's
Uh,
nothing finer.
there's nothing finer. And on that note, you know, we are all here. We're always talking about humanity and the group called humanity. But this is really, I guess you could call it a school of life here, right? We're all trying to just get along and get better and whatever. And uh we come back, we're in these family groups. We always talk about family. It's what we're born into, right?
Right.
And it starts with a small group of people who identify themselves on many levels as a family. And we have been saying for a long time, and you have been saying for a very long time, BioTouch is here, and it begins in the families. And why that's so important is because that whole arena of living with and contending with these other people in your life, this is where we learn how to share, to connect, to be tolerant, to learn compassion, and ultimately the big subject here of life is called love.
Right.
So, BioTouch is really a divine tool that we can offer each other. And that's why we're always talking about how important this is, where it begins in our personal families. And then it gets rippled out into the family of humanity.
Right.
And then it gets rippled out into the greater planetary family of all beings that are here.
That's right.
Come on. It's like, just start this process.
And that's why when you talk about the ripple effect to all humanity, that's a concept we can't deal with when we're just in our family, when we're struggling, when we're like the folks in in Maui who are struggling
Right.
to now even find a place to live. We're concerned with our family, our ohana as they call it
Yep.
in the islands, and this is something that we can focus on. We can take and touch those loved ones that are standing right next to us, the ones that are sick, the ones that are suffering, the ones that are fearful, the ones that we're having a hard time with. You know, what we've learned with people, some of the experiences is we had this one couple, I think it was Kai and her husband. Whenever they get angry, they do
Yep.
biotouch.
Do that greeting on each other.
They do that greeting,
It's
and it
like
immediately goes boom.
it's a magic button,
Right.
you
So,
know?
that's something we can work with. That's a
Yeah,
small, they used to say, the
exactly.
family unit. We can
Yep.
think of that,
That's where you begin.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And this is also why we talk about touching one another. This is not a self-healing technique. We're not here to be isolated from one another. Now, some
Yes.
of us, we drop out, we go live as hermits and things like that. For the masses of us, we're here in a collective group as we call family. And so we're
Yep.
not teaching a self-healing technique. It's one person touching another, and we're doing it on the skin. You know,
Got it.
we're
That's it.
sentient beings,
Yeah.
and there's a difference touching on the skin than touching through the clothes or doing that energy kind of work that we talk about. So, like you said, yeah, let's start on a small scale, at least doing the greeting. So, that's sort of one of the things we wanted to show. We're going to show you the greeting here, and then we're going to show a few other little sets. We'll jump in here of different family members. So, the first one with the greeting, which will play the whole thing so you can learn it at home. If you're listening to it on a podcast, just follow along. The words tell you exactly where to go. And this is a family. So, it starts with mom and dad doing it, and then in pops the child. And so it's always been really fun for us to watch. So here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
The greeting is always performed at the beginning of each session. It's the only set that uses one hand and the only set that indicates which hand to use. The greeting is performed with the dominant hand. If you are right-handed, use your right hand. If you are left-handed, use your left hand. The greeting is made by touching at point 1, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone or sternum. Hold this point for 6 to 8 seconds. Then, with the same 2 fingers, touch point 2 on the back. To find point 2, look for the big bone at the base of the neck. From here, move 1 to 1.5 inches to the left. This is point 2. Hold this point for 6 to 8 seconds. More than one associate may work with a recipient provided that all of the associates perform the greeting. If the associate or the recipient leaves the session, or if someone who hasn't done the greeting touches either the recipient or the associate, the greeting must be reassigned.
So there you go. Mom, dad, and the child.
I mean, enough said.
Enough said. So we wanted to share with you a few other sets here. The next one is going to be 2 kids, and they're doing the next set here. And we won't show the whole thing.
The next set is used for addressing most headaches, neck pains, and soreness of the upper back. These points are performed in matching fire on the large muscle.
So there you go. There's 2 kids doing it on one another. I mean, what a wonderful thing to bring into the schools, yeah?
Oh my God. I mean, you look at that and you think, well, this just breaks down all the old thoughts about you have to be here and you have to be this age and you have to be that in order to do something. And these kids just immediately being able to help each other, it BioTouch just takes away all that old programming of you can't and you shouldn't and you wouldn't and
Right.
all that stuff. It's just, oh my gosh, it's powerful.
So my niece, when she was 9 or 10, I don't know, she was in elementary school, and they had a science project, and her science project was biotouch.
I
And she
love
taught
it.
the whole group how to do it, and it just so happened her teacher had a sinus headache. And so she
Oh,
did biotouch on her teacher, and the headache went away. So her
Yes.
whole science project was, what can you do for pain besides taking an aspirin? And she got an A, of course, on the
Oh,
front.
I bet she got an A plus on that one.
Yeah. All right, so let's show another one. This is a father and a daughter.
The next set is used for addressing most.
Oh, doing the heart and blood pressure and circulation.
This set of points may be used for conditions relating to the heart, veins, blood pressure, and circulation. To perform this set, first find hold point X, which is on the breastbone, directly between where the nipples would be on a.
So there you go. We're just showing you little clips here with
Yep.
how we present these sets. All the sets that we teach with our ebook manual, there's links to the video, and it's all these different kinds of relationships. So that was a daughter and a father. You worked with your mother for a long time, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was so interesting because yes, I started out helping her, and on her own, she said to me one day, "Well, if it's that simple, what can I help you with?" Oh, and so I taught her one of the sets, and we would have our little biotouch sessions, once a week, every whatever she wanted, and she would just turn around and do something for me, and I thought, wow, I mean, this whole, that whole chain is just completed just in that. It wasn't about me being able to do something and biotouch for my mom. She was able to just turn right around and give it back. And so there was this relationship. Oh my gosh, it was very wonderful to be able to give that.
So let's show you one with another mother and her daughter that we show with the eye set.
I said,
The eye set is performed on the same side of the head. It may be used to address any type of eye conditions. Hold point X is located on both sides of the head and may be found.
Well, that was the beginning of the eye set, was the mother and the daughter. And interesting things, that woman was somewhere a big mucky muck up in the armed services. And she actually took it on to the barracks, and that's where they would teach. I think we actually had a class there on the barracks
oh,
for the
wow.
families and stuff. I remember once going to one of the barracks, I don't know if it was here or somewhere, and they had a group for parents who had children with autism. And we went to that group and taught it, so that they could work with each other just on a couple of simple things to do.
A
So,
couple of simple things. And speaking of that, the PTSD is just rampant
yeah,
in the military, as we know, and everywhere.
yes.
Um,
And what
we're
could be
now calling
fun?
it PTSD. That's what it is. It's trauma.
Yeah, and hopefully, the
Biotech.
kids, the spouses could work with one another.
Yep.
At least they're starting to recognize it now as a
Right.
situation that these men and women are dealing with. And
Mm.
BioTouch, just that simple greeting and a couple of other sets could really help relieve the situation, but more importantly, help the kids feel a part of their
Oh my.
parents' suffering and healing. We had a great experience of that. We did a presentation once for the Tucson Unified School District teachers and administrators, and it was put on by one of the principals of a high school that we were doing BioTouch in that school. It was with Gary Schwartz, who had done the research at the University of Arizona, and one of the keynote speakers was this young teenage girl who got up in front of these hundreds of professionals and gave her story about learning BioTouch and being able to help her mother, who had a very high level of cancer. And it was the first thing that she had that she could feel a part of her mother and not feel helpless, hopeless, and afraid.
Wow. That is so incredibly powerful, isn't it?
Yes, I mean,
Ah, what a gift.
and that's the gift of BioTouch. It's just that simple. And one more little story we have is a fellow who had learned BioTouch, and he had two teenage boys who got their knees whacked out playing soccer.
Yeah.
And he says to them, look, I got this healing technique I can do. Just let me do it on you. And of course, he did it and they got relief. But he came back to us and he said, you know, the most amazing part of being able to do BioTouch on them was it had been years since he had touched his boys. You know, at that teenage level. It's like,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and from one man to another man was able to
Oh,
touch them with just light butterfly-like touch, just for the purpose of healing and just with the intention of just, I just want to help. He
yeah.
felt a deep sense of love and reconnection with those teenage boys.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the other amazing, wonderful thing about BioTouch. Not we say bodies get better, but that sense of being cared for, like another person when they do BioTouch is it's really, that's what we say. BioTouch is putting love into action because you reach out and literally are showing them that you care about their pain, you care about their suffering, you care about them in that moment. That's a part of the healing process as well, being felt, feeling cared for.
So if you're out there watching or listening to us, post up there how you've used BioTouch with your family. We have Kai, of course, who's taught, her and her husband, Matt, have learned BioTouch. They've worked with the pregnancy, the delivery. They've now working with the children as they're developing.
Should we tell them about little Maisie now, who is doing
Right.
BioTouch?
And
I
now
just,
at 2 years, what's she, 2 or 3, two, or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that, is now learning to
Um,
touch mom, and
I, just,
it's
I
like,
love that so much.
that's the goal. That's the simplicity of our presentation. We just did a health fair, and you watch people's face when you just keep it simple.
Yeah,
Especially people
right.
who've had done other techniques and they want to complicate it. And well, can you da 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 da? It's like, no, you just touch. You don't
Nope,
have to have an intention. You just want to be able to help the best you can.
that's it.
You don't even
That's it.
have to have an idea of what the result would be. Just the touching in itself is creating a healing process that we might not
Yes,
be able to perceive,
right.
you know? So,
Absolutely.
we're not faith healers. We don't slap you on the forehead. You don't fall over and jump up and go, "Oh my God, I'm healed." It's a
Right.
it's a process of relationship.
Absolutely right.
So,
Yeah.
and as you said in the beginning, and we'll end it with that. Hey, let us know how you've used it. It starts in the family. That's the unit we all know we have. Uh,
Yep.
and we might not have birth family. We might be
Right.
living on the streets. That might be our family.
That might be our family.
You know?
That's the point right there.
Yes.
Yep.
Wherever our family is, whoever it is that's standing next to us or living next to us.
It's literally a member of your family. You
Yes.
might not think so, but
Yes.
that's the connectedness we always talking about.
And this two fingers reaching out and touching another human being lightly on the skin will bring us all together through all of our suffering, through all of our pain, through all of our fear. And our job is to get it out to you.
Yep. It's yours, as we say every time. Every week we say, it's already yours. Come and get it.
Come and get it. JustTouch.com. Well, we did it.
Well, little late, but better late than never, as
Better
they
than late
say.
than never. We want to thank you all for joining us. Let us know how we can bring BioTouch into your family.
Please. Yep.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
great week, everyone.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind. When the pain is too much, what we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do, and a natural way to be. I know this to be true. It happens to me and you in the middle of the day. Energy just fades away. Down the line we realize we can re-energize, feeling better in the end with attention from a friend. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.